Greetings everyone and welcome to Spacing Out. I'm Maureen Elsberry.
And I'm Alejandro Rojas. Thanks for joining us.
We're here to get you caught up on the news, so here are some of the UFO stories that have made headlines recently. A witness in the New Jersey borough of Sayreville watched and photographed a diamond-shaped UFO moving at the treetop level. This is according to a UFO sighting report filed with the Mutual UFO Network.
The witness says he was outside with his dog at 7 a.m. on August 29th when he saw an object in the northeast sky that appeared to be a drone or remote-controlled aircraft. But the witness assumed that it was too early for anyone to be flying a remote-controlled aircraft.
He took out his cell phone and snapped 3 photos of the UFO. The object was diamond-shaped but concave towards the bottom, the witness states. He continues, the back almost looked like something out of a movie, like it would have engines off the back, only it wasn't moving in the direction the engines were facing. I was able to see this object for about a full minute and a half to notice it had what looked to me like a glass area in the front side for observation.
The witness believes that the object should have been picked up on radar. He states, there was no sound, however, where I live is a very high commercial airline traffic area. I would be hard-pressed to believe this would not have shown up on radar. New Jersey MUFON is investigating.
A witness captured video of a strange light in the sky over Lake Havasu City, Arizona on the evening of July 14, 2014.
The unidentified light hovered in the sky, then slowly descended into what the witness surmises is Sarah Park in the southeastern part of the city. Although the witness states that the object changes color, that behavior is not apparent in the video.
Local paper Today's News Herald says that no reports of alien activity or strange aircraft have been reported at Sarah Park on July 13th or the following days. But Dennis Freyermuth, chief investigator for the Phoenix Mutual UFO Network, is investigating the sighting. The paper explains that Freyermuth could not confirm any aircraft activity in the area on the evening in question, and unfortunately he has not been able to locate any additional witnesses. Even the 4 witnesses who were present when the video was recorded have become unavailable.
Because no other witnesses reported the light in the sky, Freyermuth believes that if others observed the UFO, they knew what it was and paid no attention to it.
Right now I have no other supporting evidence other than this video clip and the recorder's statements, he told the paper. I can't come up with anything else to verify something unusual. Based on my observation, it doesn't look like an ET event.
According to Freyermuth, Phoenix MUFON, which covers all of Arizona, typically receives 15 to 25 UFO sightings report each month, but he cautiously points out that 95% of those sightings can be explained.
Some close viewers of Fox 2's nightly newscast in St. Louis, Missouri noticed an unknown object quickly shoot through the sky on Monday, September 1st.
During the broadcast, footage from the Fox 2 roof camera shows an active lightning storm resulting from the area's severe weather. The station describes that during that shot, something flashes across the screen. The flying object is illuminated by the flashes of lightning. In the blink of an eye, it is gone.
Viewer David Whitener posted a video clip to Facebook from the newscast showing the unknown object shooting through the sky. He posed the question, what was that shooting across the screen? Did anyone else see that?
Some offered suggestions like meteors and alien spacecraft. One commenter chimed in stating, it is said that during thunderstorms, UFO sightings increase.
Fox 2 producer Kevin Pope and reporter Andy Banker examined the footage in question. After reducing the playback speed of the video, they concluded that the UFO is a bird illuminated by the lightning.
A military combat instructor says he caught a UFO on video that could not be seen by the naked eye. He described the object as a slow-flying, low, silent, see-through triangle.
This case was sent to us by a field investigator with the North Carolina chapter of the Mutual UFO Network, Kenneth Bates. Bates says he believes the craft caught in this video, while probably not an alien, it is a video of a craft that possesses very advanced technology. 1, the ability to cloak itself, and 2, a reflective component that gives the illusion of transparency.
He stresses that he, the director of North Carolina MUFON, Lakita Adams, and the witness all feel that the UFO is most likely some sort of advanced military aircraft with a cloaking device.
According to the investigation report filed by Bates, the witness has been in the military or a military contractor for the last 24 years. Currently, he is an instructor for close quarters combat. The witness says he was out trying to get a look at the moon with his telescope when the event took place. He explains, "It was, I believe, in the night after the full moon in May. He says he always has his night vision goggles with him, and that night he had a PVS-14 night vision monocular with a 3x magnifier on a tripod attached to a video camera and a pair of PVS-7D goggles around his neck."
While scanning the night sky with his goggles, he spotted what he thought to be a plane coming towards him from the north. It was heading south. He says he estimated the object was at about 5,000 feet, which is relatively low. He says he is a skydiver and long-distance shooter, so he feels he is a good judge of distances.
He thought it was odd that he was not hearing anything, so he started to record the object. He first caught the object on video when it was at about a 75-degree angle, and he was amazed that as it passed over, he still could hear no sound.
He was further astounded when he noticed through the monocular that as it passed by stars, he could see the stars through the craft. He explained, "As I'm watching it, I noticed that as it's passing stars, I could see stars through the craft. I saw stars through the fuselage of the craft. Later, I confirmed this when I reviewed the video."
He says he watched the object for about 13 to 14 minutes. At one point, he lost track of it. When he took the goggles off, he noticed that he could not see the lights from the craft with his bare eyes. He says, so either all the lights were very dim and the night vision enhanced them like they were made to do, or the lights were infrared, basically naked to the naked eye.
It finally flew out of sight to the south. He summarized his sighting. So to recap, 1, it was silent. 2, it was very slow moving. 3, the lights were either very dim or infrared. 4, I could see through it. Adaptive camouflage, first time I've seen the real thing. 5, I couldn't see it without night vision goggles.
So this is interesting because since this, we've been able to talk to both Mark D'Antonio, who's the chief photo and video analyst for MUFON, as well as Ben Hansen, who is the president of Night Vision Ops. And I know Mark had initially suggested that it was just conventional aircraft doing aerial refueling. But there seems to be some confliction, and what did Ben have to say?
Yeah, it's kind of fun. So there's also the component of not being able to be seen by the naked eye, but I found that that's actually common for military aircraft, which I didn't know at the time, where there's something called near IR, where these guys can go into covert mode. So you're right, Mark says they were probably doing a practice refueling very high. This is like 30,000 feet in the sky. And that's why they couldn't be heard. And you have 2 aircraft there, like maybe a stealth bomber and then a large tanker or something like that, or some other aircraft. However, Ben disagrees. Mark D'Antonio, of course, is MUFON's photo analysis, and then Ben Hansen also has a unique perspective because he sells night vision goggles. So he spends a lot of time using them. He agreed with a couple of Mark's points, such as the stars being able to be seen. They didn't feel that was probably being seen through a fuselage, so they didn't agree with the cloaking part. Where they disagree is in a couple craft. In the video, the witness and the investigators and Ben feel that they see the craft taking a turn.
180
a left
degrees.
turn, yeah, 180 degrees. Mark says he thinks that's camera movement, but Ben says he's looked closely at the stars and it is turning. And his point is any large aircraft takes a long time to turn. Only a very small aircraft would be able to turn that sharply. And aircraft would not make a turn if there was refueling going on. The other issue is the silence, because Mark says the silence is due to the aircraft being very far away. However, if you listen to the video, you can't hear the aircraft, and even when aircraft are far away, you hear something. And so Ben agrees with the witness that the aircraft was probably closer than a refueling would be, and that it was silent. So there's a lot of debate going on.
Ben also talked to a military aircraft expert, and he said that technically during the refuelings it'd only be about 30 seconds that you would dock to the craft, and that this just wasn't the behavior for it. So, I mean, basically, we've got Mark thinks this is still something relatively normal, and Ben, on the other hand, has come with the statement, this is astounding, even if it's our craft. This is some advanced stuff. It might be cloaking technology. Who knows? So this is an interesting video for sure.
Yeah, I agree with Ben. It's a lot of fun, and we'll have more updates on this and continue to update the story as we get more.
And check out the video if you haven't seen it yet, openminds.tv. We regularly report UFO sightings from Australia on this show. There seems to be a lot of interesting aerial activity down under. And one Australian UFO researcher wants to establish a group to properly investigate all those sightings. Jason McClellan has the story.
A researcher believes Australia needs a dedicated civilian group tasked with investigating UFOs. The idea was proposed by longtime UFO researcher Keith Basterfield at the recent Victorian UFO Action Conference in Victoria, Australia. He stated, "At the moment, we have no idea of what UFO reports are being made around Australia. I would like to see somebody take that up again." Basterfield started researching unexplained aerial phenomena in the 1960s and has been involved with multiple UFO research groups, including the Mutual UFO Network, or MUFON, and the Aerial Phenomena Research Organization, or APRO. The Herald Sun reports that Basterfield suggests modeling Australia's National Response Unit after MUFON and GEPAN, a unit of the French space agency charged with investigating UFOs. The role of the team would be to receive a case, fly there, interview the witnesses, take samples, document their findings, analyze it, and publish it for us all to look at, he explains. It is possible for us to do that. At the sold-out Victorian UFO Action Conference, Basterfield also proposed a 3-day symposium dedicated to the still unidentified 1966 Westall UFO incident, a case in which hundreds of students, staff, and nearby residents watched a UFO hover, land, and quickly fly away. A weather balloon was recently offered as a potential explanation for the incident, but witnesses and attendees at the recent conference questioned this assertion. Basterfield explains, "I know of at least one Australian researcher who is sitting on some very detailed information about this case, supplied by an informant, and I would like to see them invited to share the knowledge with us all." There is significant UFO activity in Australia, with several interesting sightings regularly reported in the media. Recently, the head of a UFO research group in Queensland reported a spike in UFO reports in the past few months. "We get about 100 calls a year, and across Australia, all of the UFO research groups get up to 800, she explained. That's just the reported sightings. A lot go unreported. Basterfield believes that establishing a quick response team to investigate UFO sightings across Australia within hours of them being reported would greatly aid in identifying and better understanding the active UFO presence over Australia.
That's all for this episode of Spacing Out. Remember to visit our website, openminds.tv, for all the latest UFO news. Also, don't forget to register for the 2015 International UFO Congress. We just found out actually today that we won the Guinness World Book of Records for the largest UFO conference in the world. And you know, this one's going to take place February 18th through the 22nd in Fountain Hills, Arizona. You can find all that information at ufocongress.com.
And if you enjoyed today's show, make sure to click on the like button, leave us your comments, and subscribe to our channel. If you like podcasts, you can download our podcast, Open Minds UFO Radio, on iTunes or at openminds.tv/radio. Thanks again for joining us today. I'm Alejandro Rojas.
And I'm Maureen Elsberry. We will see you in the future.